Welcome everybody to another episode of Command Combat Computer Reports. With me today is Troy,
Hello, hello.
and today we have the Tosa versus the Josai. So, let's get right to it.
And before we jump in, Jeff, I just want to mention to everybody today's action report is brought to you by Cookies, the other white meat.
And so, in fact, if you hear us several times talking, that's, we're eating cookies. That's more important.
Did you know, Jeff? By the way, since we're talking about chocolate chip cookies, did you know that General George S. Patton invented the Toll House cookie?
He did.
He did. He was known, and many history books overlook this as trivial, but he was such a firm believer in the ability of chocolate chip cookies to push men to their limit that he himself would bake his secret chocolate chip cookie recipe before every battle and pass them out to his troops by hand.
Oh, well, yeah, I did hear about that. In fact, there's that famous image of him at the top of one of his tanks with an apron on it that says, "Kiss the cook."
Yeah, I have that hanging in my bathroom.
That's a good place for it. All right. So, looks like over here we got the Tosa with some Imperial cavalry on this flank, and looks like some Imperial cavalry on the other flank, and then some more cavalry way back here. Yari Key going the long way around. That's, I guess they didn't bring maps. All right, we got Parrot guns and riflemen skirmishers in the trees and out front, in front of the Red Bear infantry, Katanakachi and Shogatai in the back, with the general's bodyguard taking up the rear, which the generals oftentimes, they oftentimes do. All right, looks like the Josai really seem to be getting sort of a, they're stopping here, and they aren't even going over this crest. Maybe they're trying to be a little protective of themselves here. They look like they are taking up the positions on the hill and going to try to be defending it there. So, looks like the Tosa are trying to take advantage of that, bringing up some cavalry to get up on this hill here and see how far they go, if they're going to go all the way and maybe attack them.
I like that I see no hesitation on either side. Both commanders seem very confident, coming in with a good idea of what they want to do to get their men in position and set up. And this should be a fairly interesting battle, I think.
It does look like, yeah, both sides knew immediately, and they started moving just right away. Neither one hesitated. Neither one stopped. They are immediately heading into position. And yeah, you can see the Tosa definitely know what they want to do. They want this hill, and they want that area down there. Either that or they're creating shapes and trying to play Tetris here.
Well, the Josai, if I may, I think right out of the gate, they have a clear advantage with that hill that they have set up on. Beautiful coverage in the trees. Position-wise, clearly the highest hill here on the immediate battlefield, and should give their artillery quite a line of sight to hit the Tosa.
That's true. Actually, they really should be able to hit them pretty hard coming up. So, it looks like the Tosa... Oh, looks like they've gotten their own artillery set up and are firing, because I saw a cannonball going through it. No, it isn't here. Maybe that was a Josai artillery, or maybe that was just a bird. Sometimes the birds look like cannonballs, you know. Looks like they've stopped way back here. They're probably expecting the Josai to come across. So this is gonna, first, I guess, be one of those things where both sides are going, no, you attack, no, you attack, no, you attack.
And that's how we ended up with the 100-Year War.
That's right. Both sides going, no, I don't want to attack, you attack. So the Tosa have set themselves up in this tree. This is sort of an interesting situation. You got the cavalry over there, skirmishers in the trees, cavalry over there. So nothing substantial at the front. Most of them further back. Now they're going to start moving some infantry over to this side of the woods. Going to try maybe from the left flank. Meanwhile, what happened? Oh, there was that cavalry that was taking the long way around. Now here they are. They're starting to actually run down that road. Going to try to take position over there. Well, meanwhile, what are the Josai doing here? Looks like they got themselves set up with their cavalry just waiting, their artillery just waiting. They're not, I think that's sort of a mistake, is they're not using their artillery. They're keeping them all hidden back there. Certainly they're not a target for the Tosa.
Well, and I'm concerned with the way that the Josai have their artillery set up there on their left flank. If things play out, if their opponent is smart, they'll maybe do a couple of probes, couple of feints to the right flank there, and draw their attention away, and then hit them hard with a hook right to that artillery and take it out. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's how it plays out, Jeff. Exactly.
We told you that cookies would take over. Oh my god, okay, now some movement is actually taking place. Over here on the left flank, the Tosa have moved forward, have moved their cavalry forward. Looks like they're trying to take advantage of this flank. However, the Tosa have, the Josai had they had a nice setup there to, bring them, reel them in, and were able to hit them from the hill there.
Well, there's two ways to look at that. You could say the Josai just really scared off the Tosa, or you could say the Tosa were just kind of saying, okay, let me take a look what's over there. I'm kind of interested in seeing what they got, because they did turn and retreat pretty quickly, although they took some not insignificant casualties there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was some severe. It was a good trap by the Josai. It looked like they put some people out there, caused them their cavalry to come out, and once they did, hit them from the trees up in the hill. It was a good move on the side of the Josai, and yeah, caused the Tosa to pull back. Now that it looks like they have a pretty strong position over here on the left flank to making a move there. And some people here, they're moving up their cavalry, or their artillery up here in the center. So it looks like they're going to try to do something maybe on their left flank and or their center, while they have, the cavalry is now starting to move up here on the right. So the Tosa has something happening on all flanks. The Josai seem to be setting up traps up there on that hill, so essentially going, all right, you come up here, and we'll spank you while you're here.
Well, just eyeballing it, I feel pretty confident that the Tosa, if they wanted to do so, have enough men that they could effectively surround the hill that the Josai occupy and just kind of squeeze on it like a vice and force them out from that cover. What do you think, Jeff?
I think so too. I think they could do that. They could probably move around. However, in so doing, they would be creating one weak spot. Oh, here we go. But now the cavalry is coming around. They're going to try to see what they can do over here on this right flank. Oh, and yeah, they found what they can do. They're getting back. Meanwhile, there's the Josai general bodyguard. He is pretty bold, going, "Hey, you get out of here, you stinking Mongol!"
Oh, kids in your rock and roll.
Yeah, get off my lawn! I do notice the Tosa artillery has opened fire now, and they're starting to hit some of the guys. Looks like the Josai are trying to counter that maneuver over there on their left flank.
Well, I'm not sure. I wonder if the Tosa didn't intentionally do that to try and draw the Josai's left flank out into the open a bit more, Jeff.
It could be, because now it's actually caused them to, as they're moving across, they're getting hit by their artillery there. Although now that artillery, you can see it's actually firing over them or hitting the ridge. They went behind. They actually were starting to move their parrot guns out, but pulled them back.
Well, let's take a look at that left flank. I'm wondering, what do they have protecting that artillery now? Well, they do have some units in play.
Some sharpshooters, which actually are usually weak at hand-to-hand combat, but good shooters.
Yes, and now that may be a weakness here. I'm willing to bet that if the Tosa spy that situation, they may take another jab there.
Well, as long as the Josai have these guys here, I don't know that they're going to be able to have enough, especially with the saber cavalry. It's, what was it, 2 units of the Tosa versus 2 of them, and some sharpshooters. So it looks like they got that protected for now. But it actually is a smart move on the Tosa to leave some people over there to make the Josai have to leave these here. Because if those guys leave, yeah, just like you say, they're going to come in and take those guns.
So to me, this is the way I'm envisioning how the Tosa should handle this is not unlike a boxer with a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Essentially, you got the ability to maybe take a jab there on the Josai's right flank, and then take a hook. Take a roundhouse out there on the left flank when their attention is diverted. But
or they could do it at the same time, and it'd be the John Belushi. What was it, Animal House, where he has the potatoes in his mouth and he hits himself on both sides. The Tosa really could do that to the Josai right now, and the Josai would be the potatoes.
I can't believe you never got into the military.
I know. For some reason, they didn't like my metaphors.
I don't understand West Point. I mean,
You know my favorite West Point story. I'll tell you this while they're, it looks like the Josai are starting, or the Tosa are starting to move more cavalry over this. They may be doing what you're talking about there, Troy. But there was this artist who was in the military. He was doing the engineering. And he was told, okay, draw a bridge. So he draws a bridge and he puts two little children on there. And he's told, take the children out of there. The children have no place in there. So he erases the children, puts them on the side of the bridge. And they said, no, kill the children altogether. Get rid of them. So he erases the children and puts two gravestones right next to the to the bridge. He got kicked out, and he wound up becoming like this famous artist. I forget who he is, but it was before the Civil War, the American Civil War. And it's like a lot of his classmates were like Grant and Sherman and those guys, and they went on to military greatness, and he went on to being an artist.
And I'm willing to bet he didn't have a single limb amputated.
Probably not, but certainly not his arms. So I'm sort of getting a bird's eye view over all of this. This is a nice view from up on this hill. I really think it's a mistake of the Josai not to bring out their artillery. I know what they're thinking. I know that what their idea is. Get behind here, let them come over the hill, don't get hit by their artillery. But the problem is the Josai have the artillery superiority. I understand that this was a strategy Stonewall Jackson used at First Bull Run, as he went, okay, let's get behind the hill, and then as they come over it, we'll plaster them. Problem is they got the artillery superiority, and could instead take out the Tosa artillery, but they're just not.
Yeah, on top of that hill, you would think they would have the range and could pummel the Tosa and keep them at bay and just pick them apart.
Yep, they really could, and it's, they're trying to do this whole guerrilla warfare. Wherever you come in, we're going to hit you. But I mean, now here's what's interesting: you got the Tosa here in mass. You got a large number of them over on this flank. Got to sort of weaken the center, which is clearly this is just here to protect the guns. And then you got their cavalry here. I was just about to ask you where you think the attack's going to come, but now I guess they've just answered the question. They've got all this cavalry moving over here.
Looks like they're pushing all their chips into the center of the table here. Clearly, they have decided whatever goal they're focusing on here at the moment, they've decided this is it.
It's way over here on the right flank. And what's interesting is that Josai have used this advantage, or this moment, to go after the guns. So they're leaving their own guns unprotected to then instead go after the Tosa guns.
Oh, I think this is going to be a fatal mistake here, Jeff.
Well, they are going up against skirmishers. Skirmishers are usually easy to do in hand-to-hand. However, they have just slowed them down enough for the Tosa to bring in their regular infantry, so that's probably going to fail. Let's look at the Tosa. Look like they were about to do, pull off something over here. And yes, they have scared away that protection over here. Looks like it's just like what you were predicting there. It is an open field to that artillery, and the Josai have moved all of their infantry away from there. They're pushing everything into that center to try to counter what the Tosa have done to them. Let's see if
the Josai just I'm stunned, Jeff. I am really stunned that the Josai apparently were so focused on what they were going to do offensively, they totally missed out that they were about to get just plastered from the left flank.
Well, and it looks like they're coming in. However, they might have actually scared them away. Look at this. They have actually pulled back one unit enough to scare some of these guys. Oh, but they're going to start picking off at the Josai artillery. So they're sitting some of their guys there. And but now it's going to become, who can kill who first? Can the Josai? Oh! And now we have Saber Cavalry coming in there. Excuse me, out of the way. Oh, pardon me. And, this is not going to be pretty.
Wow.
Well, I guess that does it for the Josai artillery.
Yeah, those guys won't have to worry about dinner.
Or serving them dinner.
Yeah.
They kind of are the dinner.
No chocolate chips for you.
Well, the Josai are now moving their infantry, and the Tosa going, hey, well, we accomplished our goal. We're outies. While meanwhile, they've left these guys out to dry. They've sent out a lot of infantry out in the center, but now so much of it's gone back that they're there. And I did notice earlier, the Tosa, yes, they have now moved their katana kachi out here. So it looks like they're probably going to do some kind of samurai charge here in the center pretty soon, after they weaken them with a rifle fire.
Well, this has certainly, I think, tipped the scales in favor of the Tosa. The question is, how will the Josai respond? Are they going to lose discipline and make another rash decision, or are they going to at least do their best? I mean, where do you go from here, Jeff? You just lost your artillery.
Where am I going to go?
Well, essentially, all the Josai have now is the defensive position of the hill.
I'm going to go to Disneyland. No, actually, yeah, I agree with you. I think the worst place for them to go is exactly where they're going right now. It looks like they're pouring everything in the center and getting hit with artillery now and with all of this rifle fire. They may have superiority in numbers with rifles, but man, they're just feeding them more and more. They're feeding the Tosa riflemen and infantry just more bodies.
Targets.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, they even got the flag bearer there. So yeah, what I would be doing is I'd put them up. I mean, you got this nice ridge, this hill. Just get them up there, and I mean, without your artillery. Okay, before I was saying they should be firing them. Now, what they should do, what their original plan was, and is get inside of there, do your guerrilla warfare, let other people come up to you, and then just maneuver. Like, okay, they're going to attack one side, as we saw that the Tosa were not attacking all places at once. They were attacking one, so go over and defend one area. Then they're attacking the other area, go and defend over there. You know. But now it's like they're doing, like you were saying, an act of desperation. But it's not even not even desperate yet. They're just kind of doing whatever.
Yeah.
And they're paying for it dearly in blood here. I don't know if this is going to be too much longer. The Tosa are being patient. You know, this whole battle, rather than just going in at once, they've been slowly moving in on all sides.
And the Vice is just closing in, and I see no way the Josai are coming out of this.
They are bringing some cavalry, but they're afraid of the Tosa. You know, it's an interesting chess move. That cavalry could have maybe come in and gotten these skirmishers, but of course, then they'd be hit from that side, from that cavalry. So they're moving back there. And they really aren't very coordinated. That's one problem here.
Yeah.
Attack!
Oh, and you can see some cavalry moving on the other side while they just continue to annihilate those guys in the center. Let's take a look at what this cavalry is doing over here. They're like, ah, ha, ha, ha. You're not looking over here, are you? We're going to try to sneak up here. It is almost like the Josai are commanded by several people. You have like a commander over here who's actually doing fairly well. Guarding, and then you got a guy in the center who just wants to run out in the middle and, you know, take his charge or whatever, and do a reenactment, and then over here, somebody who didn't, you know, keeps looking the wrong way when they are coming with some other direction. So now...
And now their forces are so divided, so spread out. I don't know how... if there's really anything they can do to escape what looks to be an inevitable loss.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I mean, I'm sort of ignoring the middle here, but that's kind of obvious what's happening there. It's going to be interesting to see if these the Tosa can pull off something over on this left flank.
I wonder why the Tosa isn't going deeper on that left flank and actually coming from behind.
Yeah, they probably should move further over here and then come up behind here or something like that.
Or split those if they could have. And I know in real time it's a lot more difficult, but if they could have split those cavalry units and took one deeper on the flank.
You know, I just spotted this. I think they're hitting some... Yeah, there was some more artillery that they could have taken. The Josai, again, was not effectively using. And it looks like the Tosa are finishing them off.
What a shame on the Josai. Just incredibly ineffective use of artillery given the dominant field position they had.
Right, they really did. They could have been taking out the Tosa all the way up. However, it looks like they have actually... decimated this. Yeah, the cavalry on this side has actually been beaten off, so the Josai have actually beaten them on one of the flanks. So they've won their right flank, the Tosa left, and it looks like the center, they've actually beaten up on a group of Tosa, so the Josai might just barely still be in this if they just pull back to those trees and then defend from... Oh.
And instead...
Yeah. I mean, Tosa are not even reacting over on this flank over here. If they, you know, by...
See, and if the Tosa just started bringing up the rest of their units,
they could probably just about finish them off here. Now, actually, you might wonder why the Tosa are not firing back, but that's Katana Kachi. They're just standing targets right there.
Yeah, and those guys got to get on the move.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. They're moving somewhere.
A little bit quicker.
Yeah, maybe fast, guys. Oh, now here's something that Josai had the advantage, and they're screwing it up by moving. You know, you do not want to move riflemen into into range of. Oh, like the guys were just passing by. All right, well, you know,
very few things beat. I think the only thing that beats samurai in close quarter, hand-to-hand combat are WWE wrestlers.
Yes.
In fact, make a mental note here. We need to tell the publishers of this game they need a WWE expansion.
That's right. Right. Need them coming in going, ah! How about the Mexican wrestlers, too? With the masks?
Ooh, Mad Max expansion.
Oh.
Where the cavalry are guys on motorcycles and infantry are like pro wrestlers.
I think you need to get on that mod, like, right now. Oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. Oh, the Tosa. I like how they Josai had one last unit to do something with, and the Tosa just come in and...
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I think it's about it. Well, thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and remember to kiss your cook. Happy gaming, everybody.